And we had the pleasure of having dinner. Then the next night we had dinner again. And since I met him in Chicago, I've really grown close to him. He's really become closer than a lot of friends that I have here in San Antonio. Like many of the speakers that are here, I feel closer to them. This guy is an international speaker. He is the owner of Beyond Publishing, which gives back to people. He gives back to speakers. He gives back to everybody out there, whoever wants to write a book. And I said, hey, I go, Mike, one time during dinner, I said, why do you want to be what made you want to be a book publisher, right? He says, because I worked for a publisher one time that didn't give a crap about his authors. And I want to be that publisher that gives a crap about authors. And I've written a book, and I can honestly tell you that this man goes above and beyond to not just serve his clients, but to serve the people that his clients are involved with. So welcome me from Dallas, Texas. Give a big round of applause to Mr. Michael D. Butler.
Thank you, man.
Love you, brother.
Awesome. Let's give a big hand to Daniel and Mari. Right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. Hey, let's all stand up really quick. Can we stand up on our feet? I am so honored and glad to be here. Now, this next segment, I've got 14 minutes with you now. So this next segment's going to require some vendor participation. Do we appreciate our vendors on the side, on the wall? Let's give it up. This meeting could not have happened without them. So I'm going to ask a big favor of our vendors before we go to lunch, okay? Is I want our vendors to come in because we've got something we're going to do together. So can you, I know you're comfy, and I'm going to actually let you go early to your tables before we dismiss for lunch, and I give it back to Daniel. But vendors, just come fill in these front 2 rows. We got a reason for this, and I'm going to give you all a free gift for this. So all the vendors that move in, who wants a copy of my 88-page book, bestseller status, how to write a best-selling book? This book has helped hundreds of authors write bestsellers, go bestsellers. So vendors, if you want a copy, sneak in here. I'm going to give away 2 free gifts, actually, a free book. And let's give one more hand to all of our vendors. We appreciate you so much. So I tell you, this story just really inspires me of Daniel and Madi. It really inspires me because I met him in Chicago. He was speaking at an event that I was speaking at, Tom Chesser was speaking at, for Dr. James Dentley at Inspired to Speak. And how many of you in here have a story? You have a story, right? How many of you know that publishing hasn't changed, or it's changed, but it hasn't died? People are still reading books. In fact, there's more people buying and reading books now than ever. So, but the trick is getting the book to them. And just like the printing press brought us out of the dark ages, the internet is bringing us some great new opportunities. How many of you live in San Antonio right now? You live here, you know Daniel, you know Madi. It's an inspiring story, but how many of you, it's been fun to watch his story go global, right? Has that been a lot of fun? All right. So you've got a new friend standing next to you. Introduce yourself, say hi, get to know them for 10 seconds. All right, all right, all right, all right. Now turn and go get to know your other friend. How you doing? How you doing there, Mr. Chesser? I'm glad you're here. It's awesome, it's awesome. All right, all right. Women don't have any trouble socializing with new women friends, right? You get a bunch of guys in the room, and it's a little different. So let's grab a seat. How many are ready for lunch? And I know we've got a great speaker after lunch. Listen, this lady that's speaking to you after lunch, she's awesome. I know you're going to want to socialize and go out with friends and make phone calls. You want to be back here an hour from now. It's going to be incredible. I had a chance to chat with her last night and meet Wendy, and just phenomenal lady. And her story will just blow your socks off. Well, now, I got into my hotel room last night over here at the Aloft, and I left my charger in the car. Have you ever done that? You're traveling, and I do about 200 nights on the road a year, 18 countries this year. And I'm laying in bed. I had a great time with the speakers, and we had lots of surprises and treats and wine, and somebody bought chocolate cake, and I'm just stuffed. I'm stuffed, and I waddle up to the room, and I'm on 2%, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going back down to the car. I'm just going to turn off the phone, go to bed. And so the exciting thing was, as I'm laying there, I always wake up before the alarm goes off, and so sure enough, I woke up. I wasn't sure if it was 3, because, you know, most hotels have a clock, right? There was not a clock in the hotel, and I'm like, I never sleep too late. And I don't know if it's 3 o'clock or if it's 6 o'clock, so I called the front desk, and it was 5 minutes till 6. And I'm like, hey, my internal clock still works. And so I go out for a walk, and I'm just, just enjoying my morning time out there and thinking and looking up at the sky and thinking about this group today and thinking about all the stories in this room, right? And this thought occurred to me that I posted on Instagram, that as I'm looking at the sky and I'm just thinking, wow, every day the sky looks different. I never get bored with the sky, no matter where I'm at. California, Europe, San Antonio, the sky's beautiful. And the thought occurred to me that our Creator loves to create. And think about this. We're made in the image of God, right? So we're creators, right? I mean, some people make babies. Some people create problems. Some people create new hairstyles and hair colors and nails. And I don't know how you ladies do it. It's amazing. Because we're creators. We're creators. We love to create. And it occurred to me that every day we're either the canvas or the painter, right? I mean, think about it. We get up every day. And now, how many of you wish some of the things you know now, you wish you knew 15 years ago when your children were younger, right? I mean, if my kids had me today, they wouldn't hate me as much and be as angry, and bitter. Well, they're getting through that, Jenny, so we'll schedule that session. But I did a lot of dumb things as a dad. I was a young dad, and I created some things on the canvas that they were pretty messy. And sometimes when you spill the paint, now none of my kids were accidents. I'm not referring to that. I spilled the paint in other areas. But thank goodness, and I loved it so much when Ruben Torres said this morning. Did you catch that? That was the exact scripture I was thinking of on my walk this morning, looking at the sky. And it's God's mercies are new every morning. And I'm glad, because I am a jerk most days. And most nights, I'll go to bed at night, and there's one or two things that I'm like, oh, dang, I wish I hadn't said that. I was a total idiot. I stuck my foot in my mouth again. And God says, well, I forgive you. They might not, but at least I do. At least I have one friend. But I'm looking around the room at Daniel and Tom and his wonderful wife, Nyla, and Marty, and all my new friends I've met, and I'm just grateful. Steve walks in. I see Steve, and, when you travel so much, and Steve travels more than I do, you have these deja vu moments. You're like, am I in Barcelona? Am I in Bulgaria? Am I in Boston? And Jenny and Steve were speaking at an event in St. Louis 2 weekends ago, and I was there, and Woody the dog was there, and Steve comes walking into the Aloft Hotel. I'm meeting with the client who lives here, and I'm like, did I get on the wrong plane? You live in Vermont. What are you doing here? So I love that. The world is flat, and the Internet's given us this opportunity, right, to connect. So I want to tell you a story about Marcy. She was 8 years old when she was given a trash bag, and Child Protective Services came to the house and said, this is your trash bag. You got 20 minutes to put everything you own into this trash bag. We're going to take you to a new family. Do you know anybody that's ever been through that? Pretty traumatic, right? Oh, and she's saying, oh, great, a new family. A family's filled with love. A family's filled with conversation. A family's filled with laughter. Well, this family wasn't filled with any of that. And a few weeks later, knock on the door. Miss Sanchez said, Marcy, here's another trash bag. We're going to go find a new family. But, it got to the point after about 20 of those homes, it really didn't matter. She just figured, I just want there to be some food there. I just want to not be molested there. I just want somebody to listen to me. I just want a warm bed to sleep in. Pretty soon she started seeing every decision in life, every relationship in life through the filter of this black trash bag. Right? So I don't have to go deep into that story. But to tell you what changed Marcy's life when she turned 14 and got to go into drama class, and Miss Johnson taught her that she could and actually encouraged her. He said, you know, Marcy, you're a pretty good actress. You're a pretty good actress. In fact, she was so good, she started starring in all the school plays. She was the lead role in The Sound of Music. She was the lead role in all the musicals, the school play. And you know how scouts will come and, you know, look shop scholarships for girls that are good at volleyball, basketball, and soccer and all that. They started scouting her from Hollywood. They would send agents to scout her because she realized something. She had an idea one day. She said, Miss Johnson, I've got an idea. And she had been working on a screenplay in her free time, because this is a coping mechanism she learned as a child. She learned, I can't control what's on the canvas today, but I can go find a new canvas, and I can be a painter. And she began to write these screenplays and rewrite the story of her life because she didn't like the hand that was dealt to her. And something on the inside of her says, I've been abused, I've been molested, I've been ignored, I've been hungry, I've been made fun of my entire life, but that's not me. And she realized, and she found her power, and she realized, I can become the A-list director in the story of my life. And I'm looking at a room full of women here that have had things happen, but I tell you, the enemy meant it for evil, but God says, I'm going to turn around and restore. It wasn't from God, but he said, I'm going to restore sevenfold everything the enemy stole. And Job, when he prayed for his friends, God gave him back twice what he had before. He lost all his kids. He lost his wife. He lost his riches. But he didn't curse God because he knew the source. And God blessed him with 10 times what he had before. So I want us all to stand up. Aren't we glad our vendors are up front? There's a lot of good energy in the room. A lot of good energy in the room. All right. I'm all about experiential stories. So I stuttered as a kid. So I was naturally outgoing and gregarious, but from 5 to 11 I stuttered, so kids made fun of me, so I became an introvert. And the way I helped overcome the introvert, I grew up on a farm in Oklahoma, and so my brother and I would produce these TV shows on our farm, and we would broadcast to the cows, and we would cut to commercial, and pretty soon I didn't stutter anymore because I said, welcome back to the show. I'm so glad you're here. Our sponsor this hour, who's going to be joining us in a few minutes, is Michael Butler with Beyond Publishing. He's scanning the globe to find the best stories. So we've had 27 film awards in our fiction division. We're only 2 years old. Our nonfiction books, clients like Daniel Gomez on Trinity Broadcasting, on CNN, Fox News, Fox Business. If you've got a story to tell, how many of you got a story to tell? All right, we're going to rewrite it. Now, Jenny can help you, and if you're really stuck with some of these things, I really appreciate her because so many people in the faith community and the business community have ignored the mental health aspect of wholeness, right? And this is beautiful. I love it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rewrite the story of your life. And the reason I'm having you stand up, because you only remember 15% of what you hear, and I'm not that good. And since you're hungry, you're already thinking about what are we going to eat for lunch. And since you met a new friend, you're already, Facebooking them right now. So you're not listening to me. That's why we're standing up and we're getting moving here. So, but I realized that if I could get you participating as the director, the producer, and the Steven Spielberg of your story, then you're gonna create it. You're gonna rewrite it. Because back in the 80s, I was telling everybody to write a book. In the 90s, I was telling everybody to act like you're a movie producer and start streaming all of your content. And I'm telling you, every one of you, I'm looking at greatness here. I am looking at greatness. And in 1 second, we're going to reprogram our mind and our spirit, and we're going to start, all the negative self-talk is going to go. All right? We've had decades on that, right? And we're not going to rewind that anymore. We're going to change it. That's what Jenny did. She turned things around for her daughter. Her daughter, I got to meet her in St. Louis. Amazing, right, Steve? Amazing, amazing. Doesn't matter what's happened in the past. Doesn't matter how many times, and you say, why do I keep repeating these patterns? It's a spiritual thing, but you're going to decide, I don't want that for my family. All you have to do is make the decision, I don't want it. You look at the most successful immigrant that has come here from the most dire poverty, our friend's story this morning, Ruben's story, right? All that. He decided there's more, I want more. He's going to speak all over Australia this year in a couple of months, all over Australia. Just decide, I want more, I can do it. It starts with the decision to say, I'm going to rewrite it. It's not up to you to just figure out how. The subconscious mind doesn't care how. It'll figure out how to do it. You just say, I'm going to do it. You know you were born with greatness. We all imagine ourselves and saw ourselves doing great things as kids, right? So here's what I want you to do. Everybody close your eyes. God's mercies are new every morning. We're not going to have any more negative self-talk. I'm going to give it back to Daniel here in about 2 minutes. I've got like 2 minutes left. Then I'm going to give you my free book. Everybody that wants a free copy of the book is going to get it. I'm going to tell you how to access it online. And then I'm going to give you my phone number, my direct cell phone for anybody that wants a free 15-minute book consultation about your book idea. I told Daniel, he asked me because we charge $250 an hour for a book coaching. And I said, anybody that wants to talk about a book, we'll do it for free for 15 minutes. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. There's 2 things we're going to do. Everybody in this room is going to pick out one friend, okay, and hopefully a new friend. So if you're sitting next to your significant other or your business partner, pick somebody different. Because here's what I want to do. Turn to the person on your right first. And maybe you just met them. But here's what we're going to tell them when we open our eyes. We're going to tell them, the beauty I see in you is. And then we're going to fill in the blank. And maybe if you just met them, they have beautiful eyes or lovely hair or whatever. But if you know something about them, try to go deeper and say, the beauty I see in you is, and you know this person, you tell them those qualities that. Now, for some people, you might have to think a little harder. But I think since mainly women here, it's going to be easy to figure out. So turn to the person on your right. The beauty I see in you is. All right, all right. Is that good or what? Now, I love women because women will make a 90-minute webinar out of this. This is great. That's great. Oh, really? And what are you doing for Christmas? And can you give me that recipe for that one pecan pie? Yeah, I love that too. Okay, guys, we're on ladies. Okay, ladies. Okay, guys. I raised 4 boys. I have 2 grandsons. We tried for girls. I just want to say, give it up for Mr. Tom Chess over here, my media guy, as he gets this wide shot. Tom, I just want to say to this group of women right now that I tried to bring women into the world. I brought 4 sons and 2 grandsons into the world. I'm going to talk to God when I get up to heaven about that. So what you just did, was that fun? Did that feel good? Okay. Now here's what I want you to do. Did you do it back to the other person? The beauty I see in you is? I didn't even have, the women just know intuitively, right? Guys are like, what do we do next? I don't know. Steve will tell us. Steve knows. So, you ready for the final one before I give you the book? Oh, look at them. Are they so cute? Are they like in love? I mean, that's like, what a rockin' group this is, huh? I got to say, you're the most beautiful audience. I've spoken 200 times this year. You're the best looking audience. Yeah. Much better looking than Eric Swanson's audience, I tell you what. Other than Jenny, I mean, you look at you guys. Look at you ladies. Tom, I keep saying guys. They're beautiful women. So we're getting the photo up. I'm not going to lie. We're exploiting the photo for marketing purposes. Now, women, act interested. Act like I'm really good or something. These ladies are awesome. So here's the final thing we're going to do. The beauty I see in you is, we did that. This one might not be as easy. Turn to your neighbor that you turned to before and say, the beauty I see in me is. Go do that. And then after you're done, let the other friend share the beauty I see in you. And then I'm going to give you my book. It's kind of neat how the Holy Spirit flows us all together.
No, you're good. I love it.
Let's get a few people. Shoot this video. I want a couple of the two. I got to say, Daniel, great group.
Hey, they're beautiful women, ain't they?
They are. They're going to go.
There's some beautiful men out there also.
Who wants a free copy of my book? Let me give this to you. Everybody grab your phone. Everybody grab your phone or a pen. I'm going to give you this book, and I'll give you my cell phone as well. So bring me my phone, Tom. Hop up on the stage, Tom. We got to get a photo from up here. Yeah. Okay. Text me 918-955-3227. Once again, that's 918-955-3227. If you text me, say free book coaching in the text message, it might take me 2-3 days to get back to everybody, but I will reply personally. And then if you want the free copy of the book, you can access it online. The website is beyondpublishing.net/free book. And beyondpublishing.net/free book. Come see me at the table if you want to talk more today. I'll be here. And I am Michael D. Butler. We love putting your story on canvas because God's mercies are new every morning. Your story's not over. I want you to be the A-list director, actor in the movie of your life. Give your friends a hand as Daniel Gomez comes up. Thank you, Daniel.